Hi everyone, Tracy here from the Idea Closet, and I am just here to show you how to put together these test tube holders. They can be downloaded from my Etsy shop, which is Paper Closet Designs, and they're really easy to do. The kit comes with 5 different test tube holders, a tall one, a single, a back-to-back, a double, and a triple. And these are the test tubes that go in it, and I'll show you how I did that, and I have a link for these to purchase. You can fill them up with gumballs or candy or whatever you want. The other thing that goes really nice in these is you can also put in some Rolos. They hold Rolos really well. So let me go ahead and get you started. I'll put together a video on how to cut this out, but this video is how to assemble it. It's really pretty easy, and if you've done any type of paper crafting, you can probably figure it out, but here we go. So when you cut this out, you will have these pieces, and I'm actually working on the double piece, but the single is pretty much the same. So we want to have these all ready to go. So you have your top panel, your middle panel, and then your front piece. You will also have the actual test tube holder, so you have this piece and this piece, and I have them in the file so that they either have a perforation line or a score mark, depending on which machine you want to use and what you like to use. Some people like the perforations and some people like the scores. So let me show you really quick. This is the perforation mark, and then this one is actually, this is the tall test tube holder, and it has the score mark. And so you just bend it on there and then go ahead and assemble it. But for this one, we're going to do it on this score mark just because this is the one that I have ready. So let me go ahead and get you started. Also, one other thing, these little pieces actually come out from here, and I used these to make the tag. So I just inked them up a little bit, glued it together, I put a star sticker, and then tied it on to my test tube. So that's a good way to use those spare pieces. You don't have to, of course, you can just throw them away if you decide to. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do, I'm going to slide these pieces off, is we want to glue our panels to our actual cardstock, the test tube, sorry. So I'm just going to take my glue, this is my favorite glue, and put a little bit on there. You could also use tape for putting this on here. However, I wouldn't suggest tape or a tape runner for assembling the box. So since I have my glue out, we'll just use glue on the whole thing. This goes up here like this, and then we'll put this on here, put a little bit of glue, and it goes right over there, and there's a little bit of the purple or the box showing through. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Glue it on there just a little bit. And stick it down. I usually put the decorative panels on first because once I start bending stuff, it's kind of hard to glue everything down the way that you want it. Okay, so now we have a score line or perforation mark right here, so you're going to bend it like that. And then we have another one up here for this little tab, so we're going to bend that one. And then we have one down here, I've kind of already bent it, and then a little tab right here. We're going to bend that. So I found the easiest way to do this is flip it over upside down, and we're going to put a little bit of glue on that tab. And then we're going to take this, and it's right side up, and we're going to glue it right there, right along the seam, or the fold. Make sure you have a good stick. And then we'll just bring it up, and then we're going to put glue on this tab right here. And fold it over and bend it down. Now, if you were doing the single, the triple, or the double, you would also have a piece that would go on this back side, because this is the back-to-back test tube. There's not one that goes on that back piece, because once you get that all good and straight, you're going to put a little more glue on this back side. And then we're going to just glue these two together. And I might decide that I wanted a little more glue. So I'm going to line them up right there on the bottom. Sorry, I'm having a hard time doing this and watching the camera at the same time. And then just rub them together and make sure that they stick. And now you have a double test tube holder. So you can put 2 test tubes in there. You can carry it, or you can put a ribbon through here, or hang another tag, or whatever you want to do. It's really pretty easy. Let me just show you really quick on the long one. I'm gonna put that aside. So this is your long one, and or tall one, sorry, and it's just a little bit longer. I can't even get it in the whole thing in the camera. And you'll have a long piece. And see if I can zoom out just a little bit. There we go. So you'll have a long piece and then a shorter piece. This shorter piece is going to go on your front. So I'm going to glue it up. And it goes right there on your on the front of your test tube holder. And then this is the one with the score lines. I don't know if you can see that. So there's one score and there's another. Sometimes they're a little bit trickier to bend. That's why some people like the perforations better. Some people like the score lines better. It's really personal choice. You decide. I have the files for both, and you can do, with the Cricut, you can do the perforations or the score lines. In the Silhouette at this time, you can only do the score lines. Anyway, so there's that. And I'm going to turn it over to the back, and I'm going to take my long piece, and I'm going to glue it down. If I can grab it. I love this double-sided tape. It's so hard to choose which side you want to use. Or double-sided paper, excuse me. I'm just going to lay that on there and do that. And then this would be for your long test tube. And I have the link for all of the test tubes in my blog. So if you'll go to my blog, theideacloset.com, you can find a link where you can purchase the test tubes. I have a link to my Etsy store where you can just go directly to my Etsy store. It's Paper Closets Design. And I have a few files there. I don't have a ton. We're just getting started. But if you purchase one, please leave me some feedback so others can get excited about it, or I know what I need to do to improve on it, or whatever it takes to get things going. Okay, so I'm going to grab this little piece. I'm bad out of time, so I'm not going to glue this together, but it would go just right there, and then right there. And then this one will hold a taller test tube. And it's got a fun decoration on the back. So I'll have lots of pictures of all of these on my blog and how you can use them, some different ideas. Thanks for joining me.